Bremen Town Museum. Once there was a donkey who had worked long and hard for his master. Now he had grown weak and could not do much work, so his master began to treat him unkindly. He even began to starve the donkey. He wanted to save the money he spent on the donkey's food. In the end, the poor donkey left the house. He believed he still had a good, strong singing voice, so he decided to go to Bremen town and earn his living as a town musician. On his way, he met an old dog. He too had been kicked out of a house by a cruel master. The dog was afraid. How will I earn my bread? He said. Why do you have a voice as good as mine? Said the donkey. Let us both go to Bremen and sing for the townspeople. We shall be well paid there. So the two companions went on together. Suddenly they heard the cat mewing sadly with tears in his voice. Why are you crying? They asked. How can I be happy knowing that my mistress is going to drown me? I am old and would only like to sit by the fire and sleep. I cannot catch mice as I did before, so my mistress doesn't need me anymore. Where I am going to go? Just come with us to Bremen. You have a sweet voice and you night music. You too can be town musicians, said the donkey. Now the three traveled together for some time till they came upon a farmyard. There they had a cock loud wailing. When they made inquiries, the cock told them, my mistress is preparing a feast for the guests. She has told the cock to tell me for the feast. I am so frightened. So the donkey invited the cock to join the band of musicians. Bremen was still a long way away. On the way, they had to cross a forest. As it began to look around the shelter, she saw an old house, and among the trees, the four friends decided to rest there for the night. It was quite dark by the time they reached the house. Through the windows, they saw some robbers feasting on a large table inside. The animals had a clever idea. Why do give the first performance here? The robbers would be so pleased and they would happily share their food with the four musicians. They might even pay for their performance. So the donkey placed his forelegs on the window ledge. The dog jumped on the donkey's back and the cat on the dog's. The cock perched on the cat's head, and then all once and all together they began to sing their wonderful song. Strangely, the music was only frightening the robbers. They only heard a terrible noise and saw the huge shadow cast by animals. Together they sprang up from the table and, talking to their heels, disappeared into the forest. The four friends were puzzled, but they had gladly sat down on the table and had a hearty dinner. Then they put out the light and went to sleep. The donkey on a straw in the yard near the stove, the dog on the doormat, and the cock on the beam of the roof. Now the robbers had not gone very far. The leader saw the house becoming dark and quiet, so he sent a man to see if it was safe to go back to the house. The robbers had kept all their stolen riches in the house and wanted them back. The man went into the house on a tight tiptoe. He saw the cat's eyes and thought they were burning coals. He tried to pick up one of the light his candle, but it frightened the cat. The angry cat flew at him and scratched his face. This frightened the robber. He turned to run out of the house. As he ran, the dog on the doormat bit his leg hard. He stumbled and fell on the donkey. The donkey, woken up suddenly, Lee gave the robber a smart kick with his hidden legs, and the cock had screamed cock-a-doodle-doo in his ears, and flapping his wings around his head, the robber nearly died on fright. Somehow he got back to his den. In a trembling voice, he told that there was a house full of monsters and deadly creatures who bit and scratched and kicked and attacked you in the dark. So the robbers never went to the house. The four friends found enough money in the house to live on there, and happiness and comfort. That is why the musicians never went to Bremen.